Welcome to our deep dive today. Um, we've got kind of like a fascinating blend of Eastern and Western philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the Tao of Pooh
Mm,
and the Law of One.
interesting.
It might seem like a kind of odd pairing at
Yeah.
first glance,
Okay.
like, a children's book and then this complex spiritual text, but
Yeah.
I have a feeling some really intriguing connections might pop up.
Okay.
What do you think happens when we bring, like, the simple wisdom of Winnie the Pooh
Mm.
into conversation with like the complex metaphysics of the Law of One?
It is a unique blend for sure,
Yeah.
but sometimes the most unexpected combinations yield the most insightful results. I think exploring these two works together
Okay.
might help us appreciate how profound simplicity can be and how spiritual understanding can be found in the most unassuming places.
Okay, let's jump right in.
Okay.
The Tao of Pooh
Ugh.
really centers on this idea of the uncarved block, this state of pure potential and effortless action.
Hmm.
Doesn't Pooh perfectly embody this concept? He's not overthinking things.
Right.
He's just being...
Exactly. Remember that chapter where Pooh and Piglet go hunting for woozles
Yeah.
and end up walking in circles? That's a classic example of Pooh's uncarved block nature.
Yeah.
He's not trying to force things, he's simply going with the flow and in his own way, finding success.
And how does that connect with the Law of One?
Well, the Law of One describes the unmanifested creator as the source of all creation, this state of pure potentiality.
Hmm.
It strikes me that Pooh's simplicity mirrors this concept.
Okay.
You know, he's not weighed down by complex thoughts or desires.
Right.
He's open and receptive to whatever comes his way.
Yeah.
Much like the unmanifested creator before the universe unfolded.
That's a really interesting parallel. So Pooh's simplicity isn't just charming. It's almost a reflection of a profound cosmic principle.
Hmm.
But the Law of One's also pretty complex.
Yeah.
It talks about these 7 densities of consciousness, which can be a lot to wrap your head around.
It is complex,
Yeah.
but think of the densities as stages of spiritual evolution.
Mm.
We humans are currently in third density, which the Law of One describes as a realm where we're learning about love and duality. It's where we grapple with concepts of self and other good and bad.
So like how Pooh and his friends are always having these little adventures and learning lessons along the way.
Precisely. Their experiences in the Hundred Acre Wood, even the silly ones, could be seen as a metaphor for the challenges and opportunities we face in third density. We're all trying to navigate this realm, make sense of our experiences, and hopefully learn to radiate love and compassion.
And that brings us to another key concept from the Tao of Pooh, Chill, which is all about caring and compassion.
Right.
Pooh is always showing kindness to his friends, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
Remember how patient he is with Eeyore, who's always so gloomy?
Right.
Or how he helps Piglet overcome his fears?
Yeah.
Pooh's actions demonstrate a deep understanding of two.
And that connects to the Law of One's emphasis on love as the fundamental principle of existence, right?
Absolutely. The Law of One suggests that love is the key to unlocking higher densities of consciousness. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings and extending compassion to ourselves and others.
Yeah.
And Pooh, in his own humble way, seems to embody this principle.
It's like he's intuitively tapping into this cosmic truth without even realizing it. But if love is so central, why is there so much conflict and suffering in our world?
That's where the concept of the veil of forgetting comes in. In third density, the Law of One suggests we're veiled from the full awareness of our true nature. We forget our connection to the Creator and each other, which leads to a sense of separation and fear.
Hmm.
This veil is what makes third density so challenging, but it also presents us with a unique opportunity.
What do you mean?
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
The veil creates the conditions for us to learn and grow through contrast. We experience the full spectrum of emotions, from joy to sorrow, love to fear, and through these experiences we learn to choose love.
So it's like those moments in the Tao of Pooh when things go wrong.
Yeah.
Like when Pooh gets stuck in Rabbit's doorway.
Right.
These challenges ultimately lead to growth and understanding.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the inherent value in every experience, even the difficult ones. And that's something Pooh seems to understand intuitively.
Right.
He doesn't let setbacks get him down for too long.
Yeah.
He always bounces back with his characteristic optimism.
This is reminding me of the idea of catalyst
Hmm.
from the Law of One, how our experiences, both good and bad, are opportunities for growth.
Precisely. And it seems that Pooh, without any grand pronouncements, is a master at navigating these catalysts.
Yeah.
He doesn't overanalyze or get bogged down in negativity. He just keeps moving forward, always open to the next adventure.
That's a pretty powerful way to look at it. It makes me wonder if we could all benefit from channeling a bit of Pooh's uncarved nature. especially when faced with challenges. What do you think?
I think we could all learn a thing or two from Pooh's approach to life, you know?
Yeah.
He's a natural at embracing simplicity and finding joy in the present moment.
Right.
Two qualities that are highly valued in both Taoism and the Law of One.
It's almost like he's mastered those disciplines of the personality
Hmm.
that the Law of One talks about, those practices that help refine our energy centers.
That's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
Pooh doesn't seem to be consciously working on his chakras or anything,
Right.
but his actions do align with the principles of energy balance.
Yeah.
Remember how the Law of One describes the green ray energy center or the heart chakra as the bridge between the lower and higher chakras?
Right. And that it's associated with love and compassion and connection.
Exactly. And the Law of One suggests that energy transfer between individuals is most efficient at the green ray level. When two beings connect through genuine love and compassion, there's a powerful exchange of energy that can accelerate spiritual growth.
So Pooh's acts of kindness, like helping Piglet overcome his fear of heffalumps or comforting Eeyore when he's feeling down,
Right.
aren't just nice gestures. They're
Yeah.
actually facilitating this energy transfer.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
He's radiating green ray energy, which not only benefits those around him, but also contributes to his own spiritual growth.
It makes you wonder if our relationships, all our interactions with others are actually opportunities for this kind of energy exchange, whether we realize it or not.
I think so. The Law of One encourages us to view every interaction as a chance to learn to grow and to share love and compassion.
Right.
And if Pooh Bear can do it, so can we.
It brings a whole new dimension to the idea of playing nice, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
But of course, there's always the challenge of balancing our own needs with the needs of others.
Right.
Especially in third density, where that veil of forgetting can make it hard to see beyond our own perspective.
Right. The Law of One talks about the paths of service to self and service to others.
Okay.
How do you think those concepts play out in the Tao of Pooh?
Well, Pooh certainly embodies service to others with his constant willingness to help his friends. But he also knows how to care for himself.
Yeah.
He values his honey, his naps, and his time spent wandering through the woods. He doesn't sacrifice his own well-being for the sake of others.
Yeah.
He finds a natural balance.
That's a good point. It's not about neglecting our own needs or becoming a martyr,
Right.
but rather finding a way to integrate both service to self and service to others in a harmonious way.
Exactly. And remember, the Law of One suggests that both paths ultimately converge in higher densities. As we evolve spiritually, we come to realize that serving ourselves and serving others are two sides of the same coin.
It reminds me of how Pooh, despite his simple nature, possesses a deep understanding of interconnectedness. He values his individuality, but he also recognizes the importance of community and supporting those around him.
That's a beautiful observation. It seems that Pooh, in his own unassuming way, is teaching us valuable lessons about navigating the complexities of third density.
Yeah.
He's demonstrating how to live in the present moment, how to cultivate compassion, and how to find that delicate balance between self-care and service to others.
It's amazing how these seemingly simple stories can hold such profound wisdom when we look at them through the lens of both Taoism and the Law of One. What do you think is the biggest takeaway for you from exploring these two works together?
For me, it's the reminder that spiritual growth doesn't have to be this complicated esoteric pursuit.
Right.
It can be found in the simplest things, like a children's book about a bear who loves honey.
Yeah.
And that resonates so beautifully with how the Law of One emphasizes seeking knowledge and understanding, but not clinging to rigid beliefs.
That's a key point. The Law of One encourages us to be open to new information,
Yeah.
to constantly question our assumptions and expand our understanding. It's about seeing the interconnectedness of all things, but also recognizing that our perception of reality is limited.
It's like Pooh's childlike curiosity. He's always asking questions, exploring his world with a sense of wonder. He doesn't pretend to have all the answers.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why he's so open to new experiences.
And in that openness, he stumbles upon profound truths.
Remember how he describes the North Pole?
Yeah.
It's not like a geographical location, but rather a state of being, a place of pure imagination and possibility that resonates with the Law of One's concept of intelligent infinity, the boundless source of all creation that exists beyond our comprehension.
It's like Pooh's giving us a glimpse of this cosmic truth through the eyes of a child.
Right.
He's showing us that wisdom can be found in the most unexpected places if we're willing to look.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of blending the Tao of Pooh with the Law of One.
Yeah.
It reminds us that spiritual understanding isn't confined to ancient texts or complex philosophies. It's woven into the fabric of everyday life, waiting to be discovered in the simplest things if we approach the world with an open heart and a curious mind.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the biggest lesson we can take away is to embrace a bit of Pooh's uncarved nature. Be present, be curious, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And maybe we'll stumble upon our own North Poles along the way.
I think Pooh would approve of that. He'd probably say something like, it's best to know what you're looking for before you start looking for it.
Right.
But even if we don't know exactly what we're seeking, the journey itself can be filled with joy and wonder. Just like a walk through the 100-acre wood.
Well said. So until next time, may your journey be filled with honey laughter and the wisdom of a silly old bear who reminds us that sometimes the simplest things are the most profound.